Hi, welcome to Run on Horsemanship. This is the last video before the summer break. I had set myself a goal when I started to work with Melen, to being able to ride her at the walk and trot before the holidays. But, as you know, if you watched the previous episodes, we hit some bumps on the road. If you haven't seen them yet, I put the links in the description box below. So I'm revising my goal down just a notch, as you'll see at the end of this video. That day, I wasn't feeling great myself. I had to adapt and settled for a groundwork session under the distracted gaze of the squirrels. I went back to the basics of desensitization and really looked for the root of the issue. It was clear that her main problem is anxiety. I desensitized her around the head, then in movement while lunging her, until she fully understood that the flag is completely harmless. At most a nuisance, much like flies, for example. Overall, I'm very proud of her. She has learned a lot in a month, and has a solid grasp of all the groundwork manners. We are on the same page here. You'll also see a little later in the video that the panic episodes, when taking the lead rope in her mouth, are now a thing of the past. As we might have expected, the sensitivity wasn't limited to her mouth, and I therefore had to spend a lot of time working on approaching her ears. Again, she had over-the-top reactions, but with patience, I got her to understand that I could touch her ears without causing her any pain. Quite the opposite. I'll come back to the method in another video in a few weeks. In the eastern townships, south Quebec, it's storm season, so the arena isn't always in great shape. It was therefore 3 days later that I was able to get back to work with Melen. On my end, I was feeling better, and my goal for the day was to ride her and see where it would take us. So we went back near the tack room for saddling up, and I decided to tie her the usual way, telling myself that even if she tried to pull back, it should be less of an issue than before. And I wasn't wrong. I skipped over the first 15 minutes of that session, during which I went back to groundwork, particularly desensitization in movement, as I think I need it when I get on her back for the first straight rides. I resumed the reading work, making sure first that she stood as quietly as possible before I mounted. I tightened up the cinch one last time, and off we go. The hop step isn't very graceful, but that's how she'll learn to wait for me. And as usual, first exercise under saddle, the lateral flexion. It's essential with every horse and indispensable with her. I really want to emphasize that what I'm looking for, above all, is calmness and stillness from the horse. Movement comes after. Once she starts to relax, we can move things along and go to a walk. My idea for today is to get her more comfortable with my presence on her back, my weight, my movements, petting her from the saddle. I alternate between walking and lateral flexions to halt. She's really responsive. She picks things up quickly and well. We finished the session with 2 additional small exercises. Learning to back up softly and in rhythm. Beautiful. That's good. That's beautiful, girl. Then crossing the hindquarters on cue. A really wonderful session from my point of view. Now she gets to enjoy a few weeks of vacation, and we'll pick it up again at the start of August. Thanks for watching. I wish you a wonderful summer, and see you soon.